Another goddamn cliffhanger in these pilots. God damn it, I thought you'd be different, Katy Keene. Oh, hey everyone. Joe here from ActionX, and welcome to What's on the Tube. And welcome to, as well, if this is going to be your first ever Katy Keene review. I'm so happy to begin this hopefully amazing journey with you today. As today we are reviewing the Katy Keene series premiere, the spin-off to Riverdale, which, if you want to know what I've been doing, I had just wrapped filming not recently, like maybe 2 hours ago. I wrapped the Katy Keene episode 0, the crossover episode from Riverdale, which wasn't really. Anyway, whatever. You can check that out on ActionX if you want to see my thoughts on that. That was kind of just to prepare myself for the character of Katy Keene before she appears on her show that I saw today. And my overall thoughts on it, after seeing Riverdale be the way it is for a while, this show is just a breath of fresh air for me. Not only does it take place in New York City, my hometown, it's where I live right now, which is also where the show lives. So I guess I should find a way to somehow make a cameo. I'm kidding. I'm not that. I don't even know where they film. But anyway, I really like this. Like, if you didn't know, I do What's on the Tube, which I review at this point multiple different shows, doing episode by episode reviews. Sometimes I do one-offs. And recently, on this time slot specifically, I just wrapped up High School Musical, the series. I had recently relearned from that experience reviewing that entire season. I really love musicals. Like, there's something about music that I guess everyone has that, but for me specifically, like, if a show can give me that energy to make me to laugh, to dance, to sing while I'm watching the product, it's a really good product. And Katy Keene, I mean, regardless of how many licensed songs, how many original songs we got on this episode, I really enjoyed everything. I really did. I love these characters. All these characters seem interesting. Obviously, I'm being a little biased here because this is New York. They're filming this in New York. I'm seeing a lot of like the New Yorker attitude on this. The whole cast is great, and there was a lot of great victories here. A couple of like no TV moments because it's a TV show. Obviously, you're gonna get so many different TV cliche, but they do their own right spin on it. They managed to give us some victories, obviously some setbacks because this is the pilot. It's the first episode. This is meant to jump off the rest of the season, give us an idea of what we're going to expect. And with that being said, let's go for the Butchered Recap, which, if you're a first-timer on the What's on the Tube channel, or What's on the Tube show, the Butchered Recap is pretty much where I try to recap as much as I can from the show, so I can, like, go along my thought process with you, because if I just, like, start rambling about I'm going to miss something. I'd rather go in order, talk about my opinions there, and then go from there. And if you don't know me, I forget a lot of things. I really do. And so that's why I call it Butchered Recap. So please watch the show if you will. And if this is going to be your first time, you're going to stick around for this entire journey, which I will be reviewing every single Katy Keene episode until the end of the season. Stick around. You're going to hear a lot of Butchered Recaps. So please watch the episode before you come. And then sit along and let's begin. So we begin in New York City, circa 19-something. I don't know. They didn't give a timeline. Again, that's another tricky thing because Riverdale is set, I guess, present day, I guess, and then Katy Keene takes place 5 years after Riverdale. Now, they didn't specifically say 5 years from the start of Riverdale or 5 years from the... Hold on, I'm scratching my head a little bit. 5 years from where Riverdale Season 4 left off. I'm going to assume it's the latter because it just makes sense that none of the college elements are in play here. This is strictly a young adult story, and it's another thing where, like, this is coming perfectly in my life, considering at my current stage of life, I'm about to graduate college. I'm about to figure out this young adult aspect where I have no school to soon weigh me down. I'm able to explore possibilities with my career choice, with possibly the YouTube stuff. So this show is definitely coming to me at the right time. This feels like the show for me, as well as it's allowing me to see different things I never had the pleasure or the experience of seeing on television before. We'll get to those elements in a bit, but before we get to that point, let's go back to the beginning. So we see a young Katy Keene and her mother, Catherine Keene, as we begin to see the origins of Katy's love and desire to be a fashion designer, where she's giving a very not eloquent, but like a very somber story about family, about how her grandma was a seamstress, or she had some interest in the fashion world, I guess, but I don't think they made it. And she had this sewing machine, which she passes on to her mom, and which passed on to Katy as we cut to present day. And another thing I have a little bit of concern in, like, that sewing machine. I understand. I never used a sewing machine before. My grandma used to have one. I don't know where that went. I really don't. Maybe it's in my garage somewhere. Who knows? But anyway, that they have to be taking really good care of that sewing machine if it's being used for 3 whole generations, being used every single day. Again, it's a machine. I'm assuming it's going to break down eventually. So I don't know. But anyway, I'm 100% sure we're going to get an episode at some point this show. That something happened with the sewing machine. I guarantee you on that. And that will be another hashtag Joe was right moment. But anyway, self-gloating later, we cut to Katy Keene's apartment where we see her and the very muscular KO. I mean, here's the thing. KO I honestly thought he was going to be this typical bodybuilder, wrestler dude who doesn't care really much. We were going to start seeing the ramifications of, his dream versus hers, which we will get to in this episode. But I had a different expectation for KO, and oh my god, this guy, such the nicest person. He is understanding. There were so many moments throughout this episode with him. It's like, I feared that, oh my god, he's going to make this move. It's going to cause this trope. But no, this guy is so nice. He's so understanding. Why can't more guys be like him? Why? Why can't I have that body? Well, I'm working on my body, but anyway. Another thing for another time. So Katy's off seaming a new dress for one of her friends, which we will soon meet in this episode. And I'm guessing that from there. So KO wants Katy to ditch her job so they can go to Coney Island, which we'll understand more about that in a little bit. But however, Katy is more focused on her job. From Laceys, so if you had just came from the Riverdale season 4 episode, that episode with Katy Keene, it does make sense because considering the fact that was apparently Laceys, the store that Veronica and Katy lived in. Although these technically do look very different, which does support my theory from the last episode review that Lucy Hale's character did come up from NYC to film herself in Vancouver for Riverdale. So my theory is true on that, most likely. I could be wrong again. I'm always wrong on a lot of stuff. But Katy's focused on that. Katy gets a text from I believe her name is Gloria, the head personal shopper at Laceys. So she's calling her. There's a fashion emergency. You need to come in right away. She leaves. A lot of sexual tension between Katy and KO. Very much loving it. We cut to... Yeah, I believe this is... Yeah, we cut to like a very... I mean, if this is a fashion emergency, I understand they're trying to showcase Katy's fashion style. I understand that, but do we really need her to see her walking at normal speed in New York City? Come on. It's not a criticism, it's just like a very like concerning... Not concerning, but like... This is a comment. But anyway, she gets to Laceys, and the way she like acts in Laceys is like... Well, it's a twofold thing. Number one... it seemed like she's representing the audience and herself in a way, and this is something I've said this before in the Riverdale review last time. Lucy Hale played this character so freaking well that, as I talked about, if you came from my Riverdale episode review, or if not, check that out. I talked about how Lucy Hale really went really well in her body expressions, in terms of like, and her facial expression, demonstrating that. This is a twofold thing when we see Katy go through Laceys. This is the audience, us seeing this fashion store, boutique, whatever you want to call it, fashion store, clothing store, whatever, for the first time. And, this is New York, so I understand. Yeah, this feels like New York, where it's like the last one we saw in the Riverdale flashback, Riverdale timeline. It was a definitely different Laceys, definitely was the Vancouver set, obviously. But getting to see this feels like a store in New York City. This definitely feels like it. So seeing... this specific corner of New York that I personally never seen before was a very... I didn't get mesmerized, but I was very curious. Like, this was definitely a higher step up for Macy's or JCPenney. I'm horrible. And also another thing is that, as we learn later, a little bit later in the episode, this is a tidbit, but it does connect back here, where Katy is definitely making her another realization that she's living her dream. Well, not yet. One of her dreams that we'll know later in this episode, she always wanted to work at Laceys. She's always seen Laceys growing up as a child with her mom, wanting to buy something from their mom. Obviously, it's freaking expensive, like $35,000 for a dress. Get out of here. $35,000? It's worth more than a lot of it. It's probably worth more than my video game collection. If I'm not going to GameStop. Anyway. We get for that, and it's an amazing moment. We get to see Katy interact with the other store personnel, getting to see her. What's the guy's name? The guy who's kind of a designer for the store. I forgot his name. I'm gonna look it up. Oh, if you don't know, if this is the first episode of any show, I'm gonna look on my phone because I do not have. I think it's Francois. I'm gonna call him Francois. So anyway, so she goes into the personal shopper's room with a bunch of other female. Well, hold on, another thing you gotta learn about me, everyone. If this is your first time watching me on the channel or on What's on the Two, I will make a lot of grammar mistakes. Please bar with me. I apologize. She heads into the room with the other workers, the other personal shopper assistants. I guess that's their employee title. I don't know. Gloria's giving them a pep talk of sorts. And she's look. We got another. One of our users is coming in. Alexandra Kobet. I'm gonna call it. Is it Cabot? The Cabots? Again, I gotta look at the pronunciation. It's the Cabots. Yes. Played by none other than Camila Hyde. Which, if you don't know, and this is another very poor timing on my part, considering the fact I have not yet recorded this episode of Let Your Talk, which is another one of my shows. I'm doing a Power Rangers episode on that soon, which connects to this. Because I know that actress. She was from Power Rangers. Like, who's this actress? I know her from somewhere before. I haven't seen her in a while. I remember you, Camila Hyde. I'll never forget. I don't forget my shows. Except I do. I mean, it took me like a good, the whole season of High School Musical, the musical, the series, to figure out the principal in that show was Ernie from George Lopez. I don't remember his name, but I know he was Ernie. Principal Ernie, as I like to call him. But anyway, I recognize you, Camila Hyde. You're always going to be you're always going to be the pink dino charge ranger in my heart. Can't let me forget that. In my mind. Anyway, enough of that. Over. We get to see a little bit of, and this is another thing where it's like I'm used to seeing, the thing is that when I'm seeing one actress or actor jumping from one product, I'm usually seeing them to jump to another one. And again, I'm just speaking on this. Obviously, I'm not grading her on her Dino Charge performance to Katy Keene, but she does play the whole stuck-up businesswoman type, entitled person fairly well. She's not very expressive about it. She's not being blunt, at least in this scene. But she is being very subtle that it's she is very, she thinks highly of herself, given her position, her her family ties, that sort of thing. But Katy, this is another demonstration of how Katy has done fairly well in her job, picking out the right stuff she needs. Where it's for me, if I was thrown in that scenario, if I had to get a job in that store, I'm I'm going to quit after the first day. I cannot do this at all. I don't understand any of that. So that was a major, again, it's about showing, not telling. Where we could have literally got Katy's, we could have been told, through, we could have had a scene where Katy's literally doing everything. We have two other of the personal shopper assistants just talk about Katy's past achievements instead of for us seeing it ourselves. So getting to see that was pretty cool, and definitely showcased another win in the Katy Keene book. I think after that, she talks to Gloria about getting the full-time personal shopper position, so I guess it would be secondary to Gloria's position in terms of seniority. And Gloria's been impressed with Katy, but she is bringing up the fact, well, I'm aware that you want to be a designer in your own right, and being a personal shopper is a full-time career. It is not a side gig. It's not a hustle. It is a full-time career. So if you're interested in doing this, you have to focus on it. Katy doesn't specifically register confidence in her answer of saying, this is my path, this is what I want to do. But she does get the opportunity. It's look, we got this big prince coming. We got a prince coming in from, I believe, London or England or wherever. Again, I'm sorry to offend the royals. I don't know anything about royalty. I don't. But there's a prince coming in. He's a big win. He's a big shoe-in to get a big sale. So if you can succeed in that sale, you can get the position. So, but before we get to see more of that front, we get to go and meet Josie McCoy, which if you have watched Riverdale, she was from Riverdale. She's making the jump to Katy Keene, obviously, but this is 5 years later. And supposedly Katy and Josie never met each other, although their energy levels definitely vibe off each other, because you assume they've been friends for a while, but it turns out Veronica Lodge is the connection between here and there. So my theory is that whatever happens in Riverdale season 4, Veronica will at least survive the events forever. But we have no idea what's going on in the current. We don't know what the other Riverdale characters are doing now in the Katy Keene timeline. We don't know yet. It's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing considering the fact whenever you do this sort of like future jump time show, which I guess the Arrowverse is going to be doing soon if Green Arrow's in the Caribbean gets picked up. Okay, side tangent over. It's just going to be a little bit difficult if you're watching both shows, which I am. So it's like, if they talk about this character on Katy Keene, or at least they refer to them in a present-day setting, it's still a little bit tricky to, like, kind of, like, work it out. But at least I'll figure it out. But anyway, so these two meet. They head up to Katie's apartment where we meet Jorge. We meet Jorge for the first time. He's an aspiring Broadway dancer. And also, we'll figure out later he has another job. But anyway, so Katie and Josie are getting acquainted. I believe from there, so Katie's showing him around the apartment for a little bit. And where's the thing? Where was the thing? So they're off to get sandwiches. I am not hungry, but after I said sandwiches, I kind of want to make a grilled cheese sandwich myself. But anyway, so they get some sandwiches. They meet at this lighthouse, which is weirdly CGI'd a little. It's CGI'd fairly. Like that's like the only thing like that sticks out of sore fun, because then again, this is not one of the Arrowverse shows. It's not one of the big budget shows, so they don't have. I guess they don't have a VFX team on staff, so I guess they work with what they can. Because this is my one criticism with the episode, and I know it's a very minor criticism because we only get this shot, and I'm presuming they shot this in Vancouver, probably maybe when they were still working out the agreement to shoot the New York scenes. My guess, I don't know. I don't look at the production stuff on these shows, but this definitely looks CG'd. It definitely does, or VFX'd or whatever. So they're talking about their history. Josie's giving a brief recap of her life in Riverdale before she made the jump over here, or at least majority of it. And then we get more caught up on Katy Keene about how she wants to be a designer, but she's, wants to stick to Laceys for a while. She's willing to just be a personal shopper just to still be working at Laceys. And then I think from there, so they head up a bar. It's Tuesday night, and we're getting drinks. Drinks up to you, everyone. I'm slowly getting sold on apricot. Anyway, we get to no. Dude, I had the name like in the Riverdale episode. I made a comment about Moxie, but this is not Moxie. I mean, I have the thing here, but nah, never mind. I'll figure it out. They go to the place, the club, what I'm pretty sure is going to be the usual place where we meet Piper. I think it's Piper. It's either Pepper or Piper. It is Pepper. So I was completely wrong there. I would have been a freaking fool, as I always am. Anyway, so they meet Pepper, who's she's in the know. She's in the connection. She's got connections to the Bieber. She's got connections all over the place. I can't remember any other the connection, but she's very tied up in all the big name celebrity, the big name people, and for some reason she's hanging around Katy Keene. I mean, I guess it's her energy. It's her friend level. I'm assuming. Why she's still living in New York, I don't know. We get to cut up with KO and Lucy's keep thinking of the actress's name. Katie's catching KO up on how the job thing went on her asking Gloria. She said there's just one big challenge to get the prince to buy stuff, and she's in for the job. And then we get to see a performance by a drag queen, which turns out to be Jorge under his designated drag queen name. That's another thing. I am so not used to the what's the name? Ginger. Well, so it's Jorge, but his drag queen persona is Ginger Lopez. I don't know anything about the drag queen culture. I don't. So if I say something wrong, please correct me. I don't know anything, and I know I'm a 22-year-old. I should know something. My only experience with drag queens on television was from King of the Hill. And that was maybe when I was a kid, so that was a long time ago. Anyway, so if I made a mistake, please correct me. I'm a human being, but anyway. So after that, it was a pretty good performance, and then we cut to the next morning. Yeah, we cut to the next morning. It's a very hectic. No. Before we get to the next morning, we get a brief sideshow on Katie and KO's history. Now again, KO was referenced on Riverdale, where by the time that happened, they just started dating officially. So when we cut to present day, they've been together for at least 5 years. So they're talking about how their first date was at Coney Island, and so it's been a tradition to always go back to Coney Island for their anniversary for their first date, which is kind of sweet. It really is it really is sweet. And so we cut back to the next morning after the club rager. So it's Wednesday, I'm assuming, and it's a very hectic moment at the apartment. I don't know what to call it, like the gal apartment. I don't know. I'll figure out a terminology for it as we go along. And Josie's sort of experiencing this hectic morning in the apartment where we see Katy trying to get ready for work, Jorge trying to get ready for this background dancer audition, and literally KO's just in the background, just walking around eating cereal. It's like, God, he's amazing. I sound like a girl, but I gotta be honest, the guy's great. Anyway, so we cut over to, I think we went to Jorge's dance performance. No, we head off to Laceys first. We see everyone kind of stressed out, like this is a big client, it's his first time here. This is a make or break moment for our sales department, or for the sales for the month. Katy's kind of leading everything impressively with the rest of the team. We got a rival, so to speak. I forgot her name, but this character, she's an asshole. She sucks. I'm so sorry, but that rival's pretty bad. But anyway, so I'm pretty sure there's going to be some self-sabotaging or sabotaging as the series progresses. Katy does not immediately, she's not on Team Katy at all, and Katy, I'm assuming, is not a big fan of her. But anyway, Katy's leading the charge here, trying to get as much as exploiting her fashion knowledge to kind of here's what we can do to maximize what we can sell to this prince. So they're off doing that. We cut over to Jorge's his audition to be in Mannequin, a Mannequin musical in Broadway. And he gets a really here's the thing. I know nothing about this. I used to have a good friend in high school who was an amazing dancer. He rocked. And what Jorge did here, and I know it's a TV show, so it's two completely different worlds. But Jorge, for me personally, did a really good job. He really did. But the director, such a piece of crap. And I understand that's how Broadway, that's how theater works. You're gonna get rejected. But the way he said certain things was like, God, and specifically Jorge's in a very different, he has his own mindset, which is a good thing. And it's great to have your own identity, sort of. It's great to have your own identity. That's the point I'm trying to make here. So Jorge is very much disappointed that he was unable to get this position at this time. So, yeah, then we cut to Josie, who, while she's still dead set on doing the music career, obviously, this is New York. You're not going to get famous overnight. It's impossible. Well, it's not impossible, but it's the chances are one in a billion. So she needs to get a job. Obviously, she needs to pay, her rent. She needs to, help out around the apartment, be a financial contributor. So she's going around. We get a brief, not really a brief job searching montage. She's just going around random stores looking for a job. And believe me, finding a job in New York it's not the hardest thing in the world, but it's not entirely the most easiest. But anyway, we cut over to, she's in Washington State Park, which I personally never been to. Again, I know I'm from New York. I've never been to Washington State Park. No, Washington Garden. Jesus Christ, I'm so tired. I've recorded 3 What's on the Tubes today, so I'm feeling a little out of it. I need some more juice. Don't worry, I'm not letting my this influence it. This barely affects me. Sorry about that. Anyway, so she finds this street performer. She's strumming her guitar very beautifully. And they sing a duet together, and it's very sweet. It attracts a decent crowd in New York. It really does. It's very hard for street musicians to even get a crowd, let alone this big of a crowd. Again, TV show logic. And then we see this very good looking dude, and I'm a dude. I could be very honest to tell who's good looking or not. He's one of them, and he's very impressed by the music. He comes up to Josie and said, "Listen, I'm a record producer. I'm interested in recording a demo with you, recording a song demo with you. Here's my business card. Come by this famous studio, apparently, and let's record a song together." His name is Alexander Cabot. That's right, Cabot. Brother to Alexandra Cabot, which we just saw earlier in the episode. So, they're all, I think this is where everyone's kind of regrouped. No, we cut back to Katy. The prince has arrived. He's arrived, and apparently he brought a female guest. That's right, he has a girlfriend now. Which was another thing that Katy's rival has definitely screwed her over as Katy asked her, "Is the prince coming alone?" And she said yes, but even I knew she's definitely lying. And guess what? It's So apparently they look up this girlfriend person. Turns out she's not quite as well known. She only has under 1,000 followers, which I really can't complain because I don't even have 100. But anyway, so things are not as confident as to see things are shaking because the thing is that when it comes to catering to the rich and wealthy, some of them are very specific, very hard to be wooed, especially if you have more guests coming in because it's usually a big group purchase, so it's a bit difficult to kind of manage. So we cut to the personal shopper's room where everyone's kind of trying to appease the girlfriend, because if the girlfriend finds a success with the dress she's choosing, then we're in the clear with the prince. However, things are not working out. They try 7 dresses. She's not having it. And Katie does the rational thing is, how about you go check on her? Maybe there's another reason why. Because the thing is that even I would have recognized, okay, here's this prince. He's supposedly dating this woman who has less than 1,000 followers on Instagram. I'm pretty sure this woman is not in the well-known, not in the the big name crowd, stuff like that. She's probably an average normal person. And which she is. And we get to see her, as Katie talks to her, she's not even, she's uncomfortable in the dress because this is not what she's used to. She's not part of this world. Also, it's $35,000. And she said, this is more when I make in a year. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I just realized that's how freaking expensive New York is. $35,000 is nothing. It really is nothing. So, but anyway, she's making this comment I don't belong here. I shouldn't be dating this prince. I'm a normal person. I can't afford any of this. But she and Katie have a connection because apparently they lived on the same street. They lived in the same neighborhood. So it's they have this commonality to them, and she's more impressed with Katie's clothes than Laceys' clothes. So Katie lets her try out her clothes for a little bit, and then she kind of gets sold on a bunch of other dresses that kind of fit her style, and then boom, they strike the deal. However, the most important thing that obviously Gloria takes offense to, which could either be a jealousy thing, a policy thing, or could just be a part of my language, bitch, is that the girlfriend says Katy Keene, she's the one who picked out everything for me, and I tried out her dress, it's amazing, and that kind of doesn't sit well with Gloria. So we cut to that night where I think they're eating Chinese food. I don't think they're eating Chinese food. They're drinking something. They're kind of celebrating, and they're we got some victories, but Jorge didn't get the position. But also, so they decided we're going to help out Josie for a bit because she's got this big demo coming up tomorrow, and Katie just makes her a whole new dress in one night. Major props. So we cut to the next day. We're at the recording studio. Katie's pretending to be her manager to kind of be involved in the scene. Josie's still an amazing singer, even jumping from Riverdale, Katy Keene, and everything's going well. Alexander invites them to lunch, but obviously it's a cue from Josie. Hey, can you? This is a me thing. You kind of served your purpose, kind of kicking Katie to the curb a little bit. So Alexander and Josie presumably have a pretty good date, pretty good night out. Ends with them kissing, and you can obviously expect where this is going from here. But before we get to that, I think we cut back over to. No, was there another scene? I feel like there was another scene, but I'm forgetting. Oh yeah. So we cut back to the apartment, and we see Katie and Ko kind of getting each other re-updated on what's going on, and. Yeah, so Ko tells her, "Hey, listen, I want to be a boxer. I want to be in this. I want to go to this gym in Philly. If this is a Rocky connection, I don't understand it beyond that. But anyway, he got into this training gym. They're accepting new fighter. This could be his opportunity to make it big. But he wants Katie to move with him to Philly. So that's going to be a pretty extraordinary thing to now. There's an impasse coming up where it's Katie could potentially be getting the personal shopper's job, as well as KO making a big advancement toward what he wants in his dream. And this is definitely going to be the theme throughout the entire, hopefully, Katy Keene, where it's we're seeing dreams from other people eventually crossing to each other. It's who's going to probably give up their dream, and is this going to be great for the long run? So. I think, from there, and there's another thing where it's this could have easily ended in the typical, they're going to have an argument, they're going to have a fight, they're going to separate for a while, they're going to come back at the end of the episode, kind of make up, kind of push it along to the next episode. No, KO was honest and listen, let's just wait till after you what if you get the job tomorrow? Then we'll go from there. That is the freaking simplest, rationalist conclusion anyone can say, and I applaud the man. I applaud him to death. Anyway, so we cut to the next day. Josie's waking up from I'm pretty sure a night of intense lovemaking, if I'm being honest, with Alexander. They're about to go head off to the studio to present to the rest of the board, and I'm just going to say the board hates it. I mean, again, the thing is that with the music industry is a very tricky thing, even for me to even talk about, because I had no interest in it. But this board, why are they the deciders on this? I mean, they're all businessmen. I mean, I'm pretty sure they have their own musical taste, but you have to think outside the box a little bit. They could have done other options. Like they could have okay, let's do a demo run with this. Let's get a target audience and let's test this out somewhere before we invest any more money in it. That would have been the more logical marketing conclusion. But instead they said, nope, this is not worth it. It's not worth investing more money into it. Turns out it's actually part of a bigger Alexander versus Alexandria conflict, where Alexandra is one of the higher up positions compared to her brother, but her brother really wants to focus on the record division, which he has not, I'm presuming, has not achieved a single hit yet, or has at least gotten a single successful clear yet. So, and Josie feels insulted that, and I really feel for Josie in this scene, because she honestly thought that this is it. I immediately come to New York, I get discovered, I'm going to go and make it big. I slept with the dude, so it's like I got it in with the producer. It's going to be an amazing happily ever after. And no, this does not lead there. Because apparently Alexander brings up the fact that this is not the first time Alexander had brought over recording talent from Park. So Josie, it's kind of a slide away. It's like, you're not the first one. You're not. You're just you're just the newest one. Josie feels insulted. She leaves. She kind of tells Alexander off, and she leaves. And meanwhile, we cut back to Katy, who has just arrived back at Laceys, where the actual Lacey herself is there, congratulating the team on making this big sale. And Gloria decides to promote Katy's rival instead of her, which is like, she did nothing. She did nothing at all. This person did nothing at all. You're giving her this job she clearly doesn't deserve. For what reason? Just to be a dick? It turns out her reasoning is that, well, yes, you got the sale. Yes, you did it your way, but you used part of your clothes to make the sale, which is a big no-no in the policy. Although Katy just assumes that, just thinks of it, no, you're just doing it because it's not your way. It's not, you didn't make the sale. You were just standing there. You didn't, do anything. And when that was said, Gloria demotes her to the stocking room. Big blow. So we cut back over that night, and they're kind of they're talking about, no, wait, where were we? No, there was another scene I'm missing. There was definitely another scene I'm missing. Again, get used to this. I'm missing a scene. I don't know where the connection thread is, because I know we returned back to the apartment. We know that. Where, yeah, so they're talking about, so we get back to the apartment, Katy, they're eating Chinese food, Katy's telling them how they kind of fail, they all have experienced their own failures, as for coming from the heat of yesterday, they have failed today. And Katy's opting to just stay at Laceys to just keep paying the bills and figure out another way to work her way back up. Josie's kind of disappointed that she didn't get to make it yet, and Jorge finally gives his side of his own failures, and everyone's like, you know what? You want to be a dancer, but you don't want to ruin your moral code. Guess what? We have a solution. We're gonna give you a whole new outfit. Do the drag queen persona. Try and impress them with that. Because the next day, Katy and Josie in core to be her kind of her hype woman's. It doesn't work out, sadly, and she tells her Jorge tells the director off, and that was a very powerful moment where it was like he knew, no, this is wrong, you're wrong. One day I'm going to make it to Carnegie Hall. I'm going to perform it big. You're going to know my name, and you're going to regret not being part of my origin story. That was like a bravo. And the song choices, oh my god, I forgot the song they used, but it was a pretty bomb choice. Personal victory aside, we cut back to Katy in the stockroom having an argument with her rival. She says, you know what, screw it. Let's pregame tonight, let's go out tonight, but instead of going out to the bar, let's go to Laceys and raid the place dry and high. This is not entirely the first thing you would, Katy, that's not the appropriate thing to do when you're in New York, but okay, you know what? It's your show. Why not? So they're having a bit of a stealing montage and doing some demos. But then Francois enters the picture and kind of like, recognizes Katy. He's staying late because he has to display the window display properly because he just got projected on his last design. Katy, instead of dipping, she's saying, "Oh, let me help you out." And we have a moment between them trying to like figure out how we're going to do the window display. Very eloquent and very Laceys like. Katy's kind of being reminded of her mother, and sad to say, when I did the Riverdale stuff, Katy did mention that her mom was sick, and it's not looking good. And I guess by the grammar choice they used in this episode, they didn't flat out say it, but I can assume that her mom passed away, which is a very horrible thing. And whether or not this will play a role in the series, we'll figure it out. I mean, they could just easily just say this happened, we're kind of moving on from it, or maybe something. Who knows? But anyway, Katy gets an idea from remembering her time with her mother, and she gets an idea to do something. We cut to the next morning. We see the review of this new the new window display, which turns out to be an homage to Katy and her mother's time when she was a kid. It wins over Lacey. Damn, I forgot his name. Francois, I forgot the name, but no, he tells her like, no, it's not. This wasn't my design. This was Katy's design. Lacey gets impressed. Gloria's like, fuck, I got beaten again, and it's not going Gloria's way. It's not going her way. But anyway, Francois, remember the name now. He promotes Katy to his department. It's a little bit less money than working as a personal shopper. It's more hours, but it's more fulfilling to what she wants as a career. And now that Josie's around, I guess she doesn't have to pay that much rent. But anyway, so victory for Katy. I mean, small victory. We cut over to the club, as my friend would like to call it, and we see Ginger introducing for the first time at this club Josie, and another amazing song by her, where it's definitely the right song, the right original song to have in the first episode, where it's like, the sky's the limit, we're just beginning the journey, hopefully we'll reach our dream someday. Katy spots KO, they both leave, they go get some pizza. I'm kind of hungry for pizza now, haven't had pizza in a while, and they're talking, and it's like they're kind of getting an update on the Philly plan. Katy decides after meeting Josie, after seeing everything the past few days, she wants to stay in New York. She feels like her destiny is here. And she does recommend to KO, you have your own dream, head off to Philly, we'll do long distance. KO's not about that. It's like, look, you are my everything, I want you, and if we're going to stay in New York, there's only one way to do this proper. And the episode ends with him proposing to her, and that's where we end the pilot. And obviously, on a cliffhanger. Because I guess they really want the CW execs like, pick up our show. Which they did. They got renewed for more episodes. Yippee. Recapping takes a lot out of you. It really does. So anyway, for me, personally, fantastic premiere. Fantastic start to the whole show. I don't really have many complaints with it. Not on the top of my head. Obviously, the VFX hiccup. No convenience that I've noticed yet. Like, I have this whole convenience thing with Riverdale where it's like, it's convenient that things are happening. But this is very much based in realism, again, being New York, being honest to like, this is New York City. It's not the easiest place to live. It's not everyone can make their dreams happen. You gotta work for your dreams to happen. And this show definitely plays into that. I would have loved to see more Pepper. Pepper just seems more of like the hype woman instead of like seeing her do her own journey. Josie making the jump from Riverdale to Katy Keene was like a bit concerning because, like, for me personally, when you're making a spin-off and you're making one character jump over, are the reasons legitimized? It's like, okay, is there a reason why this character needs to be on this show instead of back on our old show? And I think they definitely explained that fairly well with everything that happened in this episode. Jorge, he was great, very honest, very open. Very much of a likable person, and it's definitely something new. I'm still not 100% like in the know of, but hopefully through this show I'll get to figure out more of that world. And I say world is like this world of like knowledge I never know before. That's what I mean. KO. If you watch my Nancy Drew reviews, I'm pretty sure he's going to be the ace of this show for me. Like, he's just likable. He's great. He's smart. Why am I describing him like a fangirl? What's wrong with me? Gloria's like, I feel like Gloria was going to be like this mentorship figure. Now she's going to be a stick in the thorn, isn't she? And our star of the show, Katy. Come on, she's amazing. I think Lucy Hall definitely plays her very well. I know Lucy Hall's been on other television shows before. I know she was on another show called Pretty Little Liars, and then she was on another CW show which did not get picked up. Which did not get picked up for season 2. So this is her, I think, her third entry into like mainline show leading, I guess. I feel like this role, she was definitely like, this is definitely something like this felt more in line with her. She definitely brought the energy she needed to play this character, which after seeing all of the dark and despair in Riverdale, the brightness of Katy Keene definitely does shine, and I'm very happy for it. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm skipping over the Kabats a little bit, but they really didn't do that much for me this episode, despite my knowledge of Camila Hyde, but we'll get to more of that hopefully in the future. But overall, 2 thumbs up for me on the Katy Keene series premiere. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I can't wait to see the rest of season 1 with all y'all. Can't wait for you guys to join me on this new adventure, this new journey. Will there be more songs? Hopefully there'll be more songs. Hopefully there'll be more dancing. Ow. I worked out my core today, so I'm a little bit sore. Anyway, that's going to do it for me, guys. So if you were unaware, this was What's on the 2 from ActionX. If you want to know what's coming up on What's on the 2, I got nothing to say right now because I don't know. I'm watching a lot of shows, but are any of them ready for review or proper reviewship? I really don't know. Figure out. Follow us on Twitter to figure out if we announce anything. But if you are only, we also do Rookie and Nancy Drew, but they're on breaks right now, so they're not really coming up anytime soon. As for Katy Keene, if you only care about Katy Keene, don't worry. Katy Keene, new episodes come on the CW every Thursday. And we will have the episode reviews on Saturdays because I'm so used to the Saturday time slot. So you have 2 days to watch the Katy Keene episodes before I do my review on them. And it also gives me more time to record the review, have it be this energetic level. And hopefully you guys will enjoy me on this journey. I don't know how many episodes this season is. I think it's 22 episodes. So we're going to, if we go for a straight run till the summer, I think that's fine. But we'll figure it out from there. But so thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more What's on the 2 Katy Keene episode reviews. Ring the bell for notification when we have a new episode live. Like, favorite, share this review if you enjoyed it. Follow us on all the social media feeds. And our brand new Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ActionXGames, where currently I'm doing Platinum Maxing for Spyro Reignited Trilogy. And I think that's going to do it for me. So thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.